All right, cool. So today we're gonna go through the JIRA with the Kanban board. I said JIRA because like JIRA is the standard Kanban, but yeah, we're gonna go through the Kanban board. We're gonna figure out like how we're gonna like structure this stuff, like as far as like the branches, your Git branches, like and yeah, just like the workflow you're gonna use. I should have sent y'all a video to look at prior to class, but it's fine. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go through what's in the video. I'm not gonna like go play the video, but I'm gonna go through what the guy talked about, and I'm gonna send y'all the video after class. And if I don't, please remind me, because I might have forgotten. But let me share my screen really quick. Um, all right, cool. So I would say I was actually expecting to see more stuff here. I just want to preface with that because I guess today we'll fill out like the rest of the stuff. So one thing I want to point out is something I had changed, and that was before Terrence, you had created this one, but it's fine because it's already complete, which is good. So for all other tasks, every task that we create, it looks like someone was deleted it actually. Every task we create has a number to it. Number 4, 5, 6. It's going to increment. Number 5, number 6, number 4, number 5, number 6. It's going to keep incrementing by 1. Those numbers is going to represent what the branch name is going to be. But before I get there, first I want to show you how this board works. I just want to reiterate how it works. The stories are in one column. Stories are to-do items, like or task, something that you have to do to get the job complete. We want to put as many tasks. We want to put tasks here until like every case is like taken care of. We saw the first one here, create React app, which was a task for a story to do. And then Terrence assigned stuff. We can see TG here. We can hover over, it says Terrence, just says, see his name right there. So anything in the stories, the only time you assign it to yourself, assign a story to yourself is when it's in progress. So story is the to-do items. When you actually start working on it, that's when you move it to in progress, and then you assign it to yourself. One thing I'm seeing here is, and I don't think I told y'all how this flow works, but it looks like this was already assigned to Sam. This should actually be in progress. And I can just drag it over. That's how you move these tickets. So anytime you assign to yourself, put it in progress. Another thing to keep to like a best practice is to have one ticket at a time. It's going to be very tempting to assign a whole bunch of stuff to yourself. Like, okay, I want to knock out this. Literally, just do one thing at a time, because this helps you not like context switch. When you context switch with coding, like coding is already hard enough, but when you context switch, it makes your productivity go down. Like that's just, it's a fact. Because you doing one thing at a time helps you move faster. So you only want to assign one ticket to yourself at a time. Now this blocked, now stop me if you have questions. Like I don't want to go through and say, oh, is there questions at the end? Like if you have questions, just stop me and just ask. Um, so stories is the task. In progress is the stuff you assign to yourself, the stuff you're currently working on. If you're not working on it, don't put it in progress and don't assign it to yourself. If it's in progress, you assign it to yourself. It's your only ticket and you're currently working on it. Okay, so let's say, so this one says style project components. I'm gonna get to this a little bit later, but this is what this says, right? Let's say Sam got stuck with something. like he couldn't figure something out, whatever. He moved. That's when you move to the blocked column. When you're blocked, you're stuck on something. You can't figure something out. You need help. So if we move it here to the blocked, what's it called it, row, or I mean column, the blocked column. What you want to do is you want to write what happened. Can't figure out CSS. You want to put a comment in here. Does it save automatically? Let's see. I don't think that saves. Yeah, okay, it saved automatically. Okay, can't figure out CSS. Sam's block. Okay. Anytime y'all see somebody's thing in the blocked column, I want y'all to like look at the ticket, look at the description, try to figure out if you can help that person get unblocked. While this is blocked, Samuel could bring in another ticket and assign to himself. He'll bring another one. Right now he's blocked on that one. You don't want to waste time trying to figure this stuff out. If it's taking too long, he'll just assign to himself. Okay, cool. Assign to himself, saved. Okay, cool. He's working on the next thing. Let's say somebody came through and said, okay, Sam, like this is how you do it or whatever. Now, now Sam is unblocked with this ticket. And then he, when you're unblocked, what you want to do is you want to either finish the ticket you're currently on. So let's say he's unblocked, right? Let's move that back to in progress. There is not blocked anymore. Now Sammy has the information that he needs. There's 2 tickets here. Now, obviously, I said to work on one at a time. Since Sammy was already brought in number 5 and was working on it, this one should be worked on until completion. When Sam completes this, I'm going to move it to test when it's complete. And when the code is pushed to Bitbucket, it's complete. Now, when it's in test, I want like someone, like anybody that sees it there to, open up the ticket and actually go to test the functionality to make sure it works. So so basically the way you do that is first you want to switch to his branch, whatever branch Sam is using. And we're going to get to how you know which branch it is to begin with. So you switch to that branch and then you test it out. But honestly, it's probably better if Sam, like if whoever's testing it and Sam get on like a Zoom call or something like that, and like Sam can just show, hey, like this actually works, like from his screen, like this works. And after it's validated that it's actually tested, we're gonna move it to complete. And the test can only be done by one person. That's fine, but the test has to happen. And the reason the test has to happen is because like there's always going to be situations where situations that or scenarios that you don't think of. Let's say you created like a button and the button was supposed to look a certain way or whatever. Whenever like someone else interact with the button, like it may look different than like the result may be different than like what you would normally expect. Now, since we're just literally creating the UI, which is I think I put it in the general channel, drop it in there. Since we're just creating the UI, the test is literally just going to be someone else seeing what you created. Now, when we actually start to make these things work, that's when like the test is going to be a little bit more significant. But I just need you to show someone, if you made the button, just show someone how that looks. Like just screen share, send them a screenshot of it or whatever. You can do a Zoom call, however you want to do it. Just make sure that the button looks the way it's supposed to look. Okay. And yeah, so that's what happens in test. And after that's complete, he'll move it to complete. Now, since Sam has completed this ticket, he can go back to his block ticket and start working on that. When this is done, you move to test, you have somebody test it, and after they test it, you move it to complete. That's how this works. Um, I'm
I
assuming that
have a
there's no
question.
questions. Okay. Yeah, what's your question?
I noticed there weren't any due dates on the task or stories. Is there a way to get those on there, or that's just not a feature?
Um, with so I would never think of a due date. The reason, like, I wouldn't even consider putting it, even if it was a feature, put it there. The reason is because like, so even when you get on a job, you don't tell them when something's due. And if you tell them when something's due, you kind of set yourself up to like not meet the due date, because that's how it always happens. What you want to do, if you want to have a sense of how much time it's going to take to complete, we can add that part on here, but it's a sense of how much time it's going to take to complete, not an actual like measurement of time. It's just it'll be a measurement of complexity, I should say, and not a measurement of time. And if obviously the more complex things is going to take more time, so there's a correlation there. But we'll actually incorporate that. Let's do that actually, because it's something you're going to see. Um, did I already go over the Fibonacci sequence? I'm not even sure how you can spell this. Fibonacci.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So Fibonacci sequence. Some people from other class may have saw this already, and this is how we're going to use this to measure a level of complexity. I'm gonna click on this one. So the Fibonacci sequence is basically a series of numbers that keeps getting bigger and bigger. How they're calculated, I think it's just like like, so we start off at one. One plus two is three. Two plus three is five. Five plus three is eight. Eight plus five, we have 13. And then 13 plus eight is 21. So it's the previous two numbers being added together. So, and as you can see, like these circles get bigger and bigger. So these like quarter circles get bigger and bigger. So the level of complexity is going to be compared to how big these like sections are. If you give if you give a ticket or like a task a level of complexity of one, that means that it should be done like within like an hour or two, if you want a sense of time also. But just remember, this is a sense of complexity. Anything one, two, and three ideally should be done. Wait, so anything one and two should be done within the first day. That's like, and there's rare cases where a level of complexity of one or two is not done within the first day. Literally, a day is like the one and two. Now, 2 days, potentially 3 days can be this three level of complexity. Now, anything five, so five may take, 3 or 4 days to complete. Eight is going to take a week, or it may like go into like the next week a little bit, maybe like 6 days or 7 days or something like that. 5 days for the work week plus 2 days, like so like 6 or 7 days. 13 is going to take like a whole week to do, or like 2 weeks to do. It's going to, yeah, actually, anything labeled 13 can take 2 weeks or more to do. And or more can be a month, 2 months. Like, we don't know how long it's going to take. Um, so what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to use three numbers here. I don't want y'all to go all the way up to, to the 13. I want y'all to use ones, twos, and threes only. So the tickets y'all create has to be in one of these level of complexities. What we'll do is for the description, every time y'all create a ticket, you can just say points. You give it points. Say points or points one, right? Just in the description. Like, this is a one pointer. This should be fast, and fast is a few hours. Like, that's what fast is. Um, so these two within a day. And then 3, it may take 2 days for you to do. If you create a task here that goes past the level of complexity of 3, if you know it's going to take more than 2 days to do, you want to break down that ticket as much as possible. For example, if we have this, right? Let's say your task was to create this whole thing, literally just to create this whole block right here. This may take more than like 2 days to do, because you got to create the this part here. You got to create this component down here. You got to make sure the text you pass in works. You got to make sure this pricing works the right way and this button, and that's going to take more than 2 days to do. What you want to do is we're going to break this down to small pieces. Okay, let's break it down. Instead of creating the whole thing, let's make a ticket to just put the image part. This image part is going to take care of the favorite and the and it's going to actually, let's break it down even further. Let's create a component for this tag, this bestseller tag. If I put something there, it's going to say it. If I don't put something there, it's just going to be empty. That's all that component is going to do. That should take like a day to do or whatever. That can be a 1 or 2. Then you create a component to have to display a heart. You know, if you give it a property of true, it's filled in. If it's false, it's not filled in. Okay, that's 1 ticket. And then you create a ticket to put an image in here, and then the 2 components that's already created on top of them, like just to align them or whatever. Maybe that take you 2 days to do. I don't know. And then you create a ticket to make the button by itself. And you create a ticket to make this text by itself. And even this component here, passing in some text and using 2 components that's already created, you know, like that's how you want to break these down. You want to break them down into like small pieces so that the level of complexity is always 1, 2, or 3 max. You don't want to have something that's going to take you more than 2 days to complete. So that's what we'll do. Points, we're gonna point at 1, 2, or 3. That's it. You don't want to go any further than those numbers.
That explains it. So like that, probably part of the reason why you didn't see more tasks on there is because we have giant tasks, but really they should be, 1 task is probably 5. You know what I mean? Like creating that object for the styles, for the buttons, we're creating a generic button component that's reusable with different styling. Really, it should be, 1 person create the styling for the, the favorites button, and then 1 for the apply button. Even though they're being used in the same component, the styling should be separate tasks. So I understand that now.
Right. And yeah, exactly. Now, all right. So does this all make any other questions on this? The Kanban, the how we move through it, the level.
No, the only reason I was even asking about a due date too is because we have a due date, right? Like we have it, 2 weeks from today. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, how do I make sure that everything's moving? I'm doing my part, everybody's doing their part. Like, sometimes you get a deadline, it's like, okay, I don't want to start next Sunday, pulling some of these tasks. So I guess that was my line of thinking.
Got it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think the best way, I think that really the best way to just move through this is just to keep those complexities small, because the smaller they are, the faster the project is going to be complete. Like I guarantee you, it's going to be complete fastest. The smaller the chunk of work that you break it down into. Yeah, and it's really just like monitoring how many tickets you have left versus like, and you're gonna have a lot of tickets in the beginning, obviously, and y'all gonna be creating them. Now, when I say tickets, I mean stories. Ticket stories. I'm just gonna use it and then change it. I'm just gonna say story for this purpose. You're gonna have a lot of stories, and you're gonna be creating them as you go, because you're not gonna think of all the different things. And yeah, you're just gonna have to just monitor, like, okay, what do we have? What do we need? And like what I would do, just some direction on like how to like lead it. I would build out all of the most important components on here. For example, this is an important component. You can't really like do much without seeing some products on the screen. Are are important. Now, do you have to have all these categories? Maybe you can have one or two of these, just for like time's sake. And obviously
Oh, I guess Isaiah lost connection.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think everybody else is still in.
Okay, yeah, I saw him starting to freeze up, and I thought it was my internet. So I'm like, let me go plug in my Ethernet cable. to my
Yeah,
internet.
same. I wasn't sure if it was me or not, so I saw him leave and say, "Oh, Jay's the host now."
Got it.
I am the captain now.
Let's pick up where he left off.
Well, nah, I don't know if I can explain Combine. I mean, just wait for him to get back in. So everybody
Mhm.
started using Combine so far, like all of y'all was able to get in and everything.
I signed in, and that's the last I was on there.
Yeah, I created a password. That was about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, see, it's making me recreate a password and everything, which is weird because I've been trying to get in.
Mm.
I already have a whatchamacallit on here, so I don't believe I should have to recreate a password, but I guess
sorry about that. My internet was like messing.
no worries.
Still messing up. See, froze again?
It says he's still in here, but I don't know if it's cleared up or not.
Yeah, you probably end up freezing again.
Yeah, my internet is like really messing up. It's like it's weird.
You might have to restart the
Can y'all
modem.
hear me or?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Yeah, he might have to go sit by the modem.
He had a hard friend.
He might have to sit on top of that joint today.
Did it drop again? Yep, he dropped again.
I am the captain again.
In the
Hey, while we
meantime,
got
has anybody busted out any components yet?
I was finna ask real quick, cause while we got like a minute or two, when y'all got y'all Node.js, cause I have to like reinstall it again. Did y'all do like just the most current version, or did y'all do the recommended version? Cause I see it's two different ones.
Do the recommended. Always do the recommended. The current version is the beta version. It's like a test version. The recommended is the most stable.
Okay, so it's probably cool that I had to reinstall it then, cause I think I did the most current last time, so this works out.
Yeah, do the
Cool.
recommended. It's way better.
Like I
Way
had a
more
feeling
stable.
for it, but it was just the thing of always trying to keep up with whatever the newest is to make sure it's efficient. But yeah, that makes sense. So cool. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. What Isaiah was telling us was that the latest, the LTS version or whatever, the latest version of it is like it has all of the functionality and stuff like that, even the untested functionality. And so like if you really know Node.js and stuff like that, then you can get that. And that's mostly for people who are, trying to help build it and stuff like that. But if you're not really doing anything extreme, or if you don't really want to, do that,
Right.
then you can just use the recommended version to get the full stable use out of it,
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's not going to implode or blow up on you.
Right. Exactly.
Cool. Appreciate it, bro.
I'm not even sure
Already.
where it cut off at. I was talking and I was like, is it still recording? Yeah, my internet was acting crazy. Where was I even at? I have no clue. Let me
It's
see.
about breaking down the tasks to the smaller tasks in order to keep things moving along with the project.
Okay, yeah.
If
All
you
right.
don't have like a due date, like I said, keep the tasks small so that everybody's motivated to just keep going and, knocking
Right.
out as many as possible.
Right. And that was really all it. Yeah, that was definitely it. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Was any other questions before I go into like how we're supposed to give examples but of how we should supposed to create these? All right, cool. So I'm gonna assign this back to nobody. Now I know this one, Sam, you had assigned this to yourself. I'm gonna just assign to nobody because we're gonna actually delete this one because we're gonna delete a few of these actually because when we want to break these down a little bit different. I want y'all just get like a stab at it, just to see, like just to get your hands dirty a little bit. But let's start off by looking at this one, right? So this one says style project components. When we create tickets, we want to make the description as like we want to make it as descriptive as possible. Now we're not going to make this perfect, and I'm not about to teach how to make it perfect because this is technically the job of like a scrum master. This is not the developer's job. We don't create these things, but for our sake, we want to create them just so we can get these tickets out. We want to give it the bare minimum just so we know what's going on. But each of these descriptions must be as descriptive as we can possibly make it. And the task has to be as minimum as we can make it. Now, obviously the problem with this is that this is saying that we want to style the project components. It's like which component are like, okay, we want to style all of the components. And we don't want to do that. We want to break this down so that we're styling one component or we're creating one component. Let's do this button because I keep going back to this. Actually, let's do something else. Let's do this icon right here. This face icon. And this is how I would create it. You create a ticket and you say create profile icon. Like that's really it. And you can also let me download this to my computer if it's not already there. Yeah, let's download this to my desktop. Downloading. Oh, it was already there. Okay, so I'm gonna just okay. We got two versions of it now. All right, so other thing you can do, right, is depending on what kind of computer you have, if you can edit this stuff, you could what I would do is I would like take a screenshot of that. I would say or you can take the original image and screenshot it, but I'm gonna do this. And as soon as that image shows, do something like this, then I would just go as far as just like drawing like where, like what I'm talking about, like, or circling it or whatever. Is there a tools? Wow, I thought it would just show up here, but you know, if you can't edit, well, I'm gonna just add this picture. I'm gonna just add this picture here, this screenshot. I'm gonna add it to the actual attachments here. So add attachment from computer, upload from computer. So desktop and here. So bam, I have an attachment. I have, you know, I have the title here, and maybe you can say profile icon is in top right hand corner or something like that. Like something top right hand corner. Okay. Something like that. So now, hold on. Change that up and saved. Did it save yet? Save, cancel. Oh wait, create and close. So create and close it. All right, cool. So we have the we have this ticket here, create profile icon. Has the description, it has the title, you know, it's kind of descriptive, it has like a little description here. We don't have to like go, we don't have to get all crazy. As long as we know, okay, we have a screenshot, whatever, you know, that's the icon right there. Just something to tell the person, like, this is what I need done. And that's all also, we need to point this. Let me not forget that. We can give it a point. Say points, give it, I don't know, like 2 points. Let's give like 3 points, whatever. I don't know how long it's going to take, or how complex it is. And the complexity is like, actually, let's leave a placeholder for points on there. Don't point it yourself. Excuse me. The person that's going to point it is the person that's doing it. Whatever you think the complexity is, like that's what you pointed. And obviously it has to be a 1, 2, or 3. And if you don't think it's a 1, 2, or 3, either don't pick it up, or if you do pick it up, you got to break it down into a smaller piece so that it's a 1, 2, or 3. Just leave it blank, and you don't assign to anybody. So that's what you'll do. And then whenever you actually go to assign to somebody, you know, you click on it, you assign it to Samuel. You assign it, and you put it in progress after you, and also you put the points. Let's say Sam, you thought it was like a 2 points or whatever. Okay, it's 2 points. So now it's assigned to someone, it has points, and it's in progress. And it is so important. Something I want to iterate, like I want to like reiterate. It is so important that we use this board the way it's supposed to be used. You do not want a ticket that's in progress that is blocked. If you're blocked and it's in progress, it should not be in progress. And when you're blocked, like you have to be blocked for like a day. Like if you're stuck on something for a day, you're blocked. If you're stuck on something for like half a day, you're blocked. Like if it's half a day or more, you're blocked. And just move it over there. Or if you get to a point where you just cannot figure it out, like just move it over there. And if it's in progress, if it's actually complete, you don't want it to be in progress. And the reason you don't want it to be in progress if it's actually complete is because 1, we're expecting you to have 1 ticket at a time. 2, you want to be able to communicate with Terrence that how far this is actually, like Terrence should be able to look at this board and know exactly what everybody is doing. He should know exactly what stage the ticket is in, and it should be the correct stage every single time. And the reason I'm saying that is because the reason I'm saying it's over is because no one pays attention to this rule. Like when I'm on a job, even me sometimes I mess this up. It's like my stuff is in the wrong column. Like why is it even over there? And it's not until I go to like meet up with people that I realize that is in the wrong column. It's like I just forgot to update it. And it happens, it's so common to just forget to update these things. But make sure y'all definitely are updating these. And another thing is you do not want a story that's in the story column. You don't want to be working on that because somebody else might pick it up and like work on it. You don't want somebody else to be doing work that you're already doing. You want to make it known that you're working on this. Your initials are right here. It's in progress. You're working on it. That's how we want it to be. I'm sorry if I had to repeat myself, but I'm sure this is going to happen. Somebody's going to have a story in the wrong column because it's so common. But yeah, that's how we're going to do that. Any questions on that before I move on to how we're going to name the branches for this?
And what's the Scrum Manager again? Is that just like a meeting manager, basically?
Right. The Scrum Master is somebody that I shouldn't have said Scrum Master. Well, it's a combination of Scrum Master and product owner. So Scrum Master is somebody that helps you complete your tasks. Like if you're blocked, if this isn't a blocked column, it's the Scrum Master's job to reach out to you and reach out to whoever they need to reach out to so that this ticket is not blocked. They need to move this train forward, like as much as possible. That's what their job is, and their job is also to track the data for these Scrum tables. Like there's statistics that come out of this, like or not like the numbers or measurements, I should say. How many tickets each person completed? How many points did each person complete? How much, like what time frame does it take for this person to complete this amount of this amount of points or whatever? Like everything is tracked and all of it could be used to like, say if you want a raise or whatever, or validate them paying you more, or whatever, or get in a different position or whatever. Like that's what a Scrum Master does. They manage all of that. And a product owner, I should have made a clear separation. The product owner are the ones that's actually creating these tickets. They create the tickets, they make it descriptive, and they put it in a certain format. And so they work in combination with the Scrum Master to help the developers move these tickets forward. The Scrum Master get rid of any blocks and making sure that the team member has everything they need, and the product owner makes sure that all of the tickets are clear. Like what they need is like very like you want to create a profile icon. Okay, cool. I gave you a screenshot. I gave you a description and a descriptive title for you to like recognize it. And I even like assign it to yourself. The developers are the ones that point the tickets. Whoever's working on it are the ones that's pointing. If somebody point this and they're not working on this, they should not be pointing the ticket. This should be up to the person that's working on it, because people think different things about how complex certain things are. But yeah, that's the Scrum Master, and that's what their job is.
So in a usual environment, you would already come in and your stories would already be pre-made pretty much by the Scrum Master and the program product owner.
Yeah.
So as a designer, we would just come in and basically just grab a story, get to work on it, basically, and then they would come back and make sure, and we would point it, you know what I mean, once it's completed, and then it would be tracked from there, basically, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep. Developers are the ones that take it. Now, there's another piece to this, like the UX, like the actual design, like the actual designers, like the UX, user experience, user interface, UI UX people. They're the ones that they work with the product owners to draw up the mock-ups, and they supply you all of the screenshots, and the product owners give you the screenshots that the UI UX people already drew up for you, basically. So there's a bunch of pieces that fit in this whole process. So yeah. All right, cool. Any other questions? All right, cool. So oh now how to create a branch with this. Obviously, we're going to be using Bitbucket. I keep saying Git. If you hear me say Git or GitHub, I'm talking about like Bitbucket. So Bitbucket and GitHub is the same. So, but I think of them interchangeably. So Bitbucket, you have to create branches. We know that we have. Let me actually just open up. I'm gonna open up VS Code real quick, and I'm going to just write inside of there. CD, just some notes. CD. Oh, make there. CD. Make there. Now CD into it, and now open up VS Code. All right, cool. So I'm gonna create I'm gonna say readme .md. This is a file type. It's a readme file. It basically shows like directions and stuff. And but I'm just using this to show y'all, like, to write a few things down. Let's say naming naming branches. You know, the way we're gonna do this, we have a few different branches, right? We have the main branch or master branch. we're gonna name it main or master. I'm just gonna say master. There's a master branch. The master branch has all of the code inside. This is the code to be like released in production. Like this is, I say production. Production is like the live app or the live like website or whatever, live app. You know, these terms, I want y'all to like know these terms because like this is like, these are terms you're gonna hear. Anytime somebody say production, they're talking about like the live app or live website. So the master branch is for that. The develop branch is going to be the branch that let's see, branch that features features are made from. I'm about to tell you what the features are. So the develop branch is basically a branch that you work on, that everybody works from. Every time you start another ticket, what you always want to do is you want to switch to the develop branch, and then you want to create a branch from the develop branch. You'll do one of those commands. Was it git checkout -b, and then you'll give it a name. And I'm about to go over like the naming convention for this, but this is basically it. So every time you start a ticket, you want to start here. You want to pull. Hold on. So you start another ticket. You want to so pull from develop. Pull from latest develop. You always want to pull. You want to switch your develop branch, and you want to pull the latest develop. And the way you do that is git pull. First, you want to check out to the develop branch. Git checkout develop. Then you want to do git pull origin develop, and that pulls all of the code from the latest. That pulls all of the latest code from develop from online, because your version on your local computer. Local is always your computer. Your version on your local environment may be older. There may be codes that you don't have on your computer and up online. So that's why you always want to pull your code from develop. And then you want to create a feature branch. And this is how you create a feature branch. You do git checkout -b to create a new branch. And this is how you name it: feature and then number. always feature / number. This is the naming convention. Now this number, some of y'all might already guess, some of that number is coming from these tickets. Number 7, number 6, number 5, number 4. If Samuel is working on number 7, that so see numbers come from Kanban.
Those numbers are generated automatically, or do we have to give it a number?
Right, they're generated automatically.
Okay.
Now I have it set up so that increments. So example would be feature /7. This way we know exactly what code is in this branch. You never, ever, ever, ever want to mix other tickets up in the same branch. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it as organized as possible. Now, in practice, it's going to get mixed up. it's like in reality, it's going to get mixed up if you're not being careful. Like there's going to be rare times like when you just have to put code from somewhere else into some other branch or whatever. But in this class, like what in this project, I want you to be very like anal about this. If the name of it doesn't match the name in Jira and in the Kanban board, don't put that code in there. Like this branch should only contain code for that one ticket. But obviously by the time we done everything, we're gonna have a whole bunch of feature branches that have, you know, a number associated with it with every ticket on the Kanban board. So we started off by switching to develop and pulling the latest code. Then we create a feature branch in this naming convention. And then after we create the feature branch and we're done, obviously someone tests it and they can either switch to your branch or I obviously, like, honestly, with the test, let's not even make this complicated. With the test, I want y'all to just put a screenshot. Like put a screenshot in your ticket. Like if Samuel completed this, I want him to like screenshot it and put in attachments. Like everything in this test column should have a screenshot in it. And after someone says, okay, I look at the screenshot, it looks right, they're gonna move it over. Whoever checks it is gonna move it over to complete, not Samuel. Like that person that's gonna move it over and put a comment in there. Like I checked it, like no, checked by Jay, whatever, right? And then Jay will move it over. I want to see a comment in every time something like this is, every time a ticket is moved on here, I want you to put a comment every single time. If it's from the where is it? If it's in story and you move it over to in progress, Sam, I want you to put, you know, Sam started this. I wish we can stack these. I guess we'll just always put a comment about it. Sam pick this up. Pick this. Actually, we don't have to put. I don't make this redundant. But after, you know, after we move it over to block, we need a comment, obviously, because we got to say what we're stuck on. If you move it to test, you can say, I don't know, ready for test or something simple. And if you move it to complete, I want to see who moved it to complete. Like who did that? I want to see it in the comments. Being anal about those comments is going to help you. Whenever you're on the job, your scrum master is going to love you. Like you're going to stand out from everybody. They love to see comments there. The product owners, they love to see comments there because it tells them a story about where the ticket is in its like journey of completion. So yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. Let me put this back how it was and put this back in progress because it's assigned. So someone tested and look at screenshot. And I'm gonna give you all of these notes also. After someone tested, so let's see, after tested, comment and move to complete. And then, you do this all over again. You start from develop, you check out the develop, you put the latest version of develop, you create your feature. Oh after it's tested, move it to complete, and after tested, move to complete column and merge with
That's about that.
yeah.
So the person that tested should be the one that moves it, or
So the person that tested moves it, and so let me see, hold on. Someone, let me see, let me put another thing here. When moving to test, also include a PR, a pull request link. So the person, to answer your question, the person that tested moves it to complete. And they also, I want to also go to the pull request link and approve the pull request from the feature branch to develop. From feature branch to develop. PR. Okay. So you move it and you approve it. So now it's going to be merged and merged to develop using the pull request link. Yeah, and then you just start back over. You start all over again. And obviously, like the way this is going is like the develop branch is going to continuously change as people complete feature branches, as more and more code is merged into the develop branch. Hold on, let me check it. One moment. Okay, so as more code is merged into the develop branch, you're gonna see the develop branch grow more and more. It's gonna keep growing. And that's why you gotta always pull the latest code, because you're always gonna see code that's different. And if there's merge conflicts, then you let me see, if there are merge conflicts, let the original developer know to resolve them. Like I don't want the person that's testing it to resolve the merge conflicts. The person that wrote the code should be the one to resolve the merge conflicts, because they know what their code is, essentially. This was a lot. that video I was gonna send y'all, it shows this process, but it actually shows more. But we're gonna do this. We're doing this at a very basic level. Literally, we're just changing the develop branch. We're just gonna keep changing the develop branch, and when we're complete, we're gonna merge develop to master. So that develop, we're gonna put a pull request from develop to master. And don't worry about that right now. I would just focus on keep pushing code to the develop branch as much as possible.
Actually, one more thing. What's the pull request link again?
The pull, okay. So whenever did someone create a so did someone created a Bitbucket, right? I don't know if
Yes,
I read it. I forgot the name.
Bitbucket. Should be in Slack. I could probably drop it in the chat real quick.
Since like, is it a general channel or?
Never mind. I know what you mean now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and for for other people that don't know, that still had that question, like it's literally the when you create that pull request, you put the URL that to go to the page, to the pull request page. That's all that is. Yeah. Now I think this is the whole process. So what we're gonna do now, I guess now until the end of class, we can just create as much of these as possible. Some of these gonna get deleted. I want y'all to focus on minimum things. Like I'm gonna just be here, like I'm gonna be here monitoring, like y'all drop these tickets in here. And I'm gonna just look at them and see if they look descriptive enough. But yeah, just I want like the goal of today to be to create like every ticket for this project, or as many as we can think about for the project. I guess just to let's see, just to make sure y'all not creating the same ones, because I know everybody's gonna be creating them at the same time. Maybe y'all can like split it up. Y'all can say which section of the page y'all want to work on, like create tickets for. And then whenever you're done that section, or actually let's actually create like two as a class. Actually, let's create two as a class, and then y'all can figure out how y'all want to break it up or whatever. Let me go back here. So we created this one. Let me just put this back here and get rid of the points and take off the assignment. So I guess let me create an object for the shopping cart. This is fine actually. That's not bad at all. Create object containing props for buttons. I would be more descriptive with this one and say create object containing style props. Actually, this is fine. This is like the button component, and I would probably put like let me see, create button component see that takes props for an icon and text. I think those buttons have like icons and text, whatever. Style project component. Yeah, this one has to go. I'm gonna delete this one. I'll delete this. I gotta right click it. Yeah, delete. So that one is not descriptive enough. And there's something I wanted to point out. Sometimes whenever you have like a whenever you have a task, it's not necessarily going to be like a UI thing. It's going to be like a tech task or like something that you have to code. For example, this one, you're just creating an object for the shopping cart. Whenever you go to put this in test, instead of screenshotting like, you know, a UI component, because there's no UI component associated with this, you can just screenshot the object that you created and like have that person look at the object and say, okay, you know, I think everything that we need is there. Like it's fine. Like that'll serve as the test for that type of ticket. All right. So let's create one. And I'm gonna get your input on this. So if I was to create like these, let me see. So, and I know in other class I told y'all should put all these buttons together, but let's actually keep them separated because I want like unless let me see, like these buttons here, like these are buttons, but if they don't look almost exactly like, just you don't have to make them like the same, whatever. Like however I want to do it, or like if you did want to have one button class, like what I would do is I would say create a button to take an icon. Create a button, take an icon. Okay, cool. Screenshot would be this. Okay, enhance button to take text and display the button with text. That would be the supply right here. And let me actually create those actually. So create button to take icon. I think I already create button component to take an icon. Then yes. I mean, if it's not actually to make take an icon
Icon prop or yeah.
something like that. And then enhance button component to also take text. I'm just copying and paste the same. It don't have to be like, you know, different, but yeah, if it's anything extra you put in the description, whatever, I'm gonna create that also. So with these two, right? Obviously, this one depends on number 8. You can't work on number 9 without working on number 8. What I would do is I would say depends on number 8. you can't even work on this without number 8 being done, because you can't enhance a button that wasn't created. So that's how you would like link those tickets. When we're using Jira, like the actual like the one that's used like at work, there's like a field to do this. You can link tickets together, or you can link like dependencies together. This ticket depends on that ticket. So you can't start that other ticket until you complete this one. So yeah, that's how y'all should do it with those. Now I'm gonna ask y'all, like how would y'all, like what would you let me see, let me just pick a random. All right, this search bar, right? How would you create, how would you create that ticket? Like what would you say in a ticket like this?
Yeah, I would say create search bar with magnifying glass icon, or with icon, clickable icon for search, something along those lines. And then, like you
Right.
said, grab a screenshot of it so that it's really clear when they click on that task or story.
Right, exactly. And even this component, you say create breadcrumbs menu that accepts an array of pages. I don't know. You pass in three things inside of the array, it'll display it like that, like to be displayed as the screenshot. Like, and this would probably be like a 3-point, to be honest. Like that level of complexity, a little more. Now you gotta loop through an array. You gotta actually structure the HTML so that it sees each individual thing inside of the array and displays it how you want it to display on the screen. So yeah, that's that. So I want to give an example of, so those are the examples of how to create tickets. Any questions on that before we move?
So I guess I was just trying to think it all out, like big picture. So we have the smaller component, and we're in React, so everything's a component. But I guess, should we start with a story to create the, basically the basic layout of the page, if that makes sense?
Yep, that's actually where I was going to. So yeah, that's what we need. Because we need to be able to see these components on the screen. So the first one is, yeah, let's create the layout. And that's actually need that. Let's check it. Everything's going to depend on this one, but I mean, like we just got to know this has. Let's not like put the dependencies like that, because it's going to be too many tickets depending on one ticket. We'll just know to do this one first. Create layout of website.
I know they have numbers, but is there a way to, even if this is number 10, to drag it up to the top of the story list?
Yeah, so hold on, cancel that. So one thing I forgot, we can drag it up top. Let me see. Can we do that? Yes, yeah. And this is good. This is good too. Terrence, what you would do is you'll order all of these things. Order them in level of like priority. What you want people, everybody else grab from the top. You see something at the top, grab it. If you don't know how to do it, you make your way from the top on down. But the highest priority thing should be up top every time. So I guess you would just go through all the tickets and just make sure everything is in priority order. And obviously, it don't have to be perfect. Like you don't have to like order every single one. Like order like the first like few that you want to be done, and then if you want them to choose whatever they want, they can do it that way. But like everybody should be choosing from the top. In terms of, if you see one, if you spot one, okay, this is actually should be higher, that you just move that up, and it'll get taken care of first. There is a priority drop down here, but let me see if I put high. Let me see what happens here. This is number 7. Okay. So you can label it high priority also. High, normal, low. Let's just do normal. What I would do, I would just keep the order. I would keep it in order of level of priority. Top being most important. And when whoever picks up the ticket to create the layout, the only thing that you should create is the sections here. There's a section right here, section here, and a section here. You don't have to create anything on there. Just create 4 square, like 4 divs. You know what I mean? Like something to separate these 4 sections. 4 divs on here, and to make sure that the border is here. That's really it. That's all you need to do to create the layout. And then when people pick up tickets, they'll just go into that one div or section and start putting their things there. And each of these divs can be a component actually. This component can be the logo component. This one could be the header component. This one can be the filter, the category component, no, or filter component, whatever. And this one can just be like the main component. You just like name it main.js or whatever, or main.js or whatever you want to call it. So it should be 4 components inside of the app.js folder. File inside of the app.js file in the return. And each of those 4 is going to represent one of these sections. And obviously, you do some CSS to align this the correct way and to put that border there. So we should just literally see like a cross. Yeah, and you can just eyeball like, how big you want it to be. I can actually, go into like how many pixels it is from Max. You can like see it, but like it's gonna look different on different people's screens. So just eyeball it. Whatever you think looks best. So yeah. So we want to create the layout and then create these components here. And actually, let me actually take the ticket to create the layout. I'll create the layout now, like on the recording or whatever. And then after I create a layout, I want y'all to start creating these tickets so that we can get as many of them as possible. Terrence, did you already did the create React app, right?
Yeah, I did that and
you
pushed it up to the main branch. Yeah.
Okay. Where is the do y'all have the what's it called it? The link to the Bitbucket, and did y'all create a what's it called? A at password for it?
Yep. Yeah, I can I'll drop both in the chat here.
Okay, let me just stop sharing so that that's not on the screen.
I think Sam had a question in the chat too.
Oh, okay. I was lost on the components part, making the layout. Okay. So with those, okay. So yeah, let me just show y'all with the components. That's what you were talking about, right, Sam? Like the components to create a layout.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Let me I'm gonna just clone this down and I'll just create that really quick. Log in here. Log in. Oh, one thing I didn't look at this yet. Terrence, when you push the code to Bitbucket, did it have the node modules folder in there also? I don't know if you, if you
Let me-
didn't, if you don't remember delete, yeah. But
Yeah, let me double check.
it's probably you. All right, let me just go to this Bitbucket. I'm gonna adjust this also. I'm gonna put it in another PR. Whenever we add code to the Bitbucket, we never want to add the node modules folder, and I'm gonna show y'all what that looks like. And it's because it has too much code inside of it. Like I don't even think Bitbucket can take up to a certain amount of code. And
Yeah, it
node
didn't push it. I don't know if it just knew not to, but it didn't push it.
Okay, you know what? Inside of the Create React app, it might have had like a way to ignore the node modules folder. I wonder if there's like a git
Include
folder.
or
Yeah. Um, so I'm here. Let me share my screen. Show y'all what I'm seeing. So I see it here, but nothing is. I'm gonna just clone it down. Actually, I was waiting for this to load, but let me just clone this down. Let's see. So this is still inside of that folder. I'm gonna just do it there. Do a git clone.
oh yeah, I'm looking inside of the git ignore. It's in there. The node folder is being ignored intentionally.
Um, oh wait, okay, I see what we did. Let's git clone. Cool, so they ignore it. That's good. Let me go back to here. Okay, cool. So this is the class part. Chat e-commerce. Okay. Looks like you push folder. All right, so let me see the inside of that. Let me see the so just load CD inside of class projects, and then CD inside of e-commerce. Every time y'all start, y'all want to do an npm start. I mean npm install, because we want that node modules folder to be created. Yeah, this get ignored. Yeah, this would yeah. So you just it ignores that node modules. So that's good. So we're about to. All right, while that's loading, inside of here, I'm gonna create a components folder. This components folder, remember I was telling you, the components folder has all of the components inside of it. And the way we want to do it is to create a folder for each component. So the first component we'll have is icon, the icon component, and that's going to be this here. I'm gonna name it logo actually. Let's rename that to logo. Remember your naming conventions is always capital, capital for the file names if you're talking about like a component. So the next one I'm gonna do is this one. This is gonna be sidebar. So let's create a folder for, and let's create a folder for this one. We're gonna name this main. So new folder main, and we're gonna create one for the header. This here. It's gonna be a header. So let's move this out of the way. So now, cool. So that's still loading. So that's fine. Inside of header, let's do sidebar first. Inside of sidebar, we're just gonna create a component sidebar file folder must. Let's do a rename. Okay, right click, create, so new file, that .js, and also, oh, that's not dot, that's a comma, .js, okay. Also, we always want to create a CSS, like CSS file in here as well. So this
For
dot
each component.
for each component, yeah. Every component have this folder, the name, and CSS file associated with it. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the other ones as well. I'm going to shortcut this because I don't feel like creating every single thing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, I'm just creating. I'm just creating. I'm going to mess around doing more work trying to shortcut it. That CSS, cool. And logo, same thing. Logo.js and logo.css, logo.css, cool. Same thing for main. I'm gonna do main.js, and that's not a dot, that's a comma. I noticed that off the bat because of the icon. I always look at the icon, and that's not a JS icon. This is JS icon. Just something to look out for. So CSS has a CSS icon. Cool. Let me close this. That don't need to be open. All right, so we have all of our components. Cool. Now let's create each individual one. And y'all probably already noticed I'm doing this thing where I'm renaming it, and I'm renaming it so I can copy the name. You never want to type this stuff out. You want to copy to make sure everything has the exact same name. You don't want to misspell something. So header, capital, always capital, and it's going to return. Let's just return a div for now. Div. Okay. Div. The header inside of here, just so we know it's the header. Export default. I was going to export this so that we can bring it into the next component. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, also you want to import the CSS for each of these. Let's not forget that. Import. So not that. Import header dot CSS dot slash. I was made dot slash there. So let me actually add this to all of these. So this is logo, logo, logo. The same thing for main. Obviously, you see I'm, doing copy and pasting. Main, main, main. Okay, cool. Same thing for sidebar. It may seem really redundant to like keep copying and pasting these things, but like trust me, this is gonna save y'all headaches. Like I've spent so much time because I named something that wasn't the right name, and I've spent like hours trying to fix bugs that could have just been avoided by just copying and pasting. So, all right, cool. So we have all those components. Cool. Now I'm gonna bring all of those into app.js. Oh, did it stop yet? Yeah, it did. Okay. So we'll do npm start. The install finished. I'm gonna just start it really quick, just so that we can see what's on the screen.
We don't have to do we have to do the install every time we pull new code, like every time we're pulling something from the main branch? Or from the, from the main branch or development
Oh.
branch, yeah.
Yeah. So for the develop one, no. So you just pull it down. Now I would just run an npm install anyway. Like if I run it again, it's gonna take a short amount of time. And the reason you don't have to install. Whenever we really start getting into doing these projects, yeah, you wanna install every time. Only because somebody might add a package in a package JSON that you don't have, and you're gonna want to update your node modules folder for that.
No, that's a good
But
point
for-
because when I was doing like just research on how we can pass these style props and stuff, they were recommending some packages, and I was thinking like, how's everybody else going to get these packages? So no, that makes perfect sense. The npm install.
Right, right. So yeah. Let me I'm gonna get rid of all of this crap that we don't need. And actually, what I should be doing is I'm working on a ticket right now. So I should be assigning it to myself. And see, create layout for website. I should be assigning it and giving it points. So points, I'm gonna just give it 1 point because I'm about to just do it real quick right now. And I'm just assigning it to myself. So I'm working on it. Cool. Isaiah's working on it. It's in progress. Let me see. I'm going to delete all of this stuff. Say app, whatever. We don't need this anymore because we're not using that logo. You can delete this. I'm gonna delete that real quick. All right, cool. So I deleted that logo, and yeah, it's just the app here now. It just says app. Cool. So I'm gonna bring in all of those components and I'm gonna put them in the right places that they need to be. Just for me, I always put the JavaScript imports first. That's just me organizing. I always put my CSS imports at the bottom. So I'm gonna just move that down, and I'm gonna import. Oh, actually, we don't even have to do this. Just want to import for us. I'm gonna just start writing header here and import it for me. Cool. Let me actually, yeah, let me give this a closing. I guess it can just be like that. Yeah, we need that closing. Okay. So we got the header on there. Cool. Let me put this back down to 100%. So header, what else do we need? We need the sidebar. Sidebar. We need the logo. Let me put this at the bottom here. And we need main. Is here. All right, cool. So we got everything on there. We have can't resolve components, main. How was that? It's weird that they that they imported it with the wrong name. But anyway, we got everything here. Header, sidebar, logo, main. Got all the components in there. And now we just gotta format it. Now let me see. The logo, what is it? Is that name of the logo? Yeah. Logo is here and the header is here. So automatically I'm thinking to myself, I want to put these next to each other. Let me put logos first and let me put header after that. So let's do this. It's just so I can organize it. So that's that. So we got logo, we got header, and then we have the sidebar here, and then we have main right after that. So, and that's ordered in the correct way. Cool. Now inside of the logo component, we know we have a div.
And do you have to create a branch for this task
Yes, I do.
before, or can you do it at the end?
No, I have to do it now. Actually, thank you for yeah. Let me do that now because and I was also supposed to create a develop branch also. It's fine. Let me just check out the feature branch. So feature slash, what was the number on that? 10. So 10. Now to get repository.
So I think you'll probably have to CD back to React project. I think that's the.
Yeah, that's with the yeah. Okay. Hold on, we're okay. CD. What was it? Style level
Or
is
class project. Yeah.
I put that inside of notes. This can get very complicated. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And to check, we can just do a ls dash a, and it should have that dot get it, that dot get folder here. Here. That's how we know it's a Git repository. So I'm gonna do git checkout dash b. Okay, cool. Switch to the feature branch. Cool. And I can even go as far as just pushing it really quick. Just so that it's up there in Bitbucket. So request does not exist. Do not have access. I'm surprised it didn't ask me for the thing.
That's where
Yeah. What is show? Ask me. Okay. The requested repository. Just let's make sure you're authenticated.
do you have to get an invite, or is the app password enough?
I thought the app password should have been enough. Let me think about this. Why can't I access it? Where is it? Here. When I clone HTTP, okay. 11:30. Let me actually come back to that. Let me just create this real quick, and then we'll figure that part out later, because we we already running out of time. Let's see logo. Logo is a box and it has this background color. So it's a div, and this background color, I'm gonna try to get this color from online. Let me see, I'm just gonna zoom in. It's something y'all can do too if y'all want. Screenshot that, and then I'm gonna go to colors. Go. Upload the picture, and I'm gonna get the color from the picture. Sign in. Accept cookies. Start generator. Okay. X that out. I don't need that. Go here to photo. Click this to upload this image, and I'm gonna grab this color here. So it's this one. Next. So it's this. This is going to be the border color. I chose the darker one because like we can see this picture. Like it really is that. Well, it looked like it's this color actually. Let me see. Yeah, it is that color on the side. Let me go back. So it is this one. This is the color I need. Okay. So it's this. Cool. So let me zoom back out of this. So logo, we can see, let me put this side by side here. So logo, what I'm gonna do is let me just save that color just so I can have it. I'm gonna put that here. The reason I'm putting it here is because I'm gonna do all this stuff. The reason I'm putting it here is because all of those components are gonna use the same border color. So border, border. Let's do 1 pixel solid border. Let's give us a class. So anything with a class of border going to have this style. what I always do is whenever I'm trying to align these things together, I always give these things like a background color, just so I can see like how big it is on the screen. And I always give it like the idea of its actual name. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just do logo background color, say black for now, and I'm gonna give it a height and width. Height, um, height. I should do 20 pixels for now. Width, I'll just say like a percentage. I'll say 10 viewport width, 10% of the actual viewport width. I think that's good. And let's go to the browser. And that's how it looks right now. I'm gonna adjust that because obviously 20 pixels is not enough. And so this is gonna be, let's give this more than 20. Wait, is this 100%? Yeah, 100%. Okay, cool. Height, let's give that just like eyeballing, is it 80 pixels? Let me see, put this next to this. So this one, looks like that is about, that looks about right. I'm just giving 90. Looks about right. And I'm gonna stretch this a little bit, just like 20. And copy this. Yeah, X this out. Okay. Now I'm gonna give it like a fraction, like 14 or something. Let's put this in and make this like, let's do 16. See how that looks. Let's give it 14. Cool. So that's fine. And another thing I'm gonna do just to align these things, I'm gonna make this a flex box here because it's gonna help to align all of those things. So display flex. Okay. Everything should stack up. Display flex. ID. Okay, now everything is stacked up how it's supposed to. Now the header, I'm gonna give it some color or whatever. So this ID. And honestly, like these names should not be capital. I shouldn't be showing you bad practices. That should be lowercase for the actual like ID name. And I'm gonna change it in the other file as well. This
Capitals is just reserved for like the component name.
Right, yeah, just the capital should only be the component name. Let me change this to lowercase. That shouldn't be capital. That should definitely be lowercase. And let me copy some of this stuff. And so I gave the other one a viewport of 14 viewport width. So the remaining of that is going to be 86 viewport width to take up the remaining width. And the height is going to be the same. I'm gonna give it a different color. I'm just gonna say gray. Let's look at that. Okay, so we still got some stuff squished here. I think we have to put another flex rule here. Let me change this to lowercase. This is lowercase. And I think it's flex wrap. I think that wraps the components around. Yeah. So it wraps other components around so that it takes up the space that it's intending on taking up. So with sidebar, let me start at 1x. I'm gonna take some styles from here just so that I have a reference. So sidebar, let's do, let me just paste this in here real quick. I'm gonna do some copy and pasting. ID, so it's lowercase. Let's copy this and paste that here. We're gonna make this background color gray, and we're gonna say the width is gonna be the same, and the height is gonna be the remaining of the page. So the way you do that, and I hope this works, it's like you put 100%, and And that should take up the remaining of the page after I do one thing, but let me just see something. So right now it's taking up 100% of its parent, which is the app. The app, I'm gonna give this a height, and that's what is missing. I'm gonna give this a height of 100 viewport height. It's gonna take up the full width of the viewport. And now, okay, so there's still a scroll here. So let's take up the full height. This is what I'm gonna do. This is why it's good to have relative values. This is gonna take up 100 viewport height. What I'm gonna do with the logo, I'm gonna make this height actually in terms of the viewport. So let me see, let's see 14 viewport height. Let's see if no, that's gonna make it. No, that's not gonna make this. Okay, that's 14. Let's make that 12. Let's do 10. 11. Okay, 11. Do 11 there, and I'll change the height of the header as well. It's 11 viewport height, and I'll do the sidebar as the remaining height, which is 89 viewport height, and that makes the full 100. So there's no scrolling here. And the main is going to take up the remaining. So main, let's give this ID main CSS here. The height is going to be the same height as the sidebar, which is this. And the width is going to be the same width as the header here. This is literally the only time math comes into this when you try to create these things. Let me give it a background color of black. Got black and gray all the way through. Black. Cool. So we got the layout. I'm gonna get rid of the background colors since I have everything in place now. Let's get rid of all these background colors. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. I want y'all to remember this technique too. Like this is good to like use to like see what's going on. Let's get rid of that. Everything's there. Cool. Now we gotta give the border colors. So let me see, border, I'm gonna just say border color like this. And I'm just gonna give it I'm just gonna do the border color 1. We don't have to define the whole border. I'm gonna just say I actually want a better way of doing this. Let's do this. Let's not do that. We're gonna use this root here. Remember I was showing y'all with these are the what's it called it, the variables that we can use. Order and far than this. What's it? I think it's just this by itself. So anything that uses this, it's gonna pick up this color here. I think this is how you use it. I'm gonna check. Let me get the logo and do on. So on here, this literally just has a border. Actually, I'm gonna do the full. Let me see. It has a border all around it. I'm gonna just do the border. So border. See 1 pixel solid, and then we're gonna use the variable this, and it should give me the same color. Let's see, yeah, okay, so that was how you write it. All right, cool. So we got that border there, and we're gonna do the same thing for the rest of them. I'm trying to make this code dry. I'm over here realizing I'm gonna have to copy and paste this everywhere, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna put that style back over here, and I'll keep this how I had it. Let's just say gray border as a class. Anything with that gets this style. Y'all want to keep your code dry as possible. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give all of these classes class name. Copy it for me. That. So header. Okay, header has it here. I wonder why it's not stacked. Okay, okay, I'm running into more issues. Okay, I know what's going on. So I'm about to explain to y'all why that dropped down to the next line. What time is it? 11:41. So let me give all of these the class names here. Gray border. All right. So before, so our whole layout is messed up. Before we had logo, and then right next to it we had header, and then we had sidebar, and right next to it we had main. But now we can see all of these are on different lines. Can somebody tell me what they think is going on? Like, why is this dropping down to the next line the way it is?
Is it because of that the flex that you set up, or is it because they're in different? No, I'm thinking the flex actually. Yeah.
Is it the border pushing it out of?
Right, it's the border. Exactly. We gave these defined like widths, but that the width of it, they matched exactly what the viewport was. And since it's like that small little extra border being added, it don't fit in there anymore. And because it's always a combination of the flex and a border, I should say. And because it don't fit in perfectly, it drops down to the next line. The thing that's dropping it down to the next line is the flex wrap that wraps anything that don't fit on the next line to be pushed down to the that don't fit on the line to be pushed down to the next line. So a combination of both the border and flex. Now the way we fix this, I think, hold on, let me look this up. CSS border CSS border to fit with. Like something should come up. But we don't want that border to add to the width. Some, I thought it was like outline or something like that. Let me see something. I'm just gonna like mess around with this. I think it was outline. Outline. No, it wasn't outline. CSS border inside box. When I see it, I'm gonna know exactly what I've seen this before. So it's not the inner border. CSS. Increasing size. Here we go. This has to be increasing size. Yeah, box. Here we go. Box sizing, border, box. Yeah, this should work. I think this. Let me see if this works before I. Okay, cool. This is a important one to remember. Box sizing, border, box. That stops the border from adding extra width to the actual HTML element. And because we stopped it, obviously everything fell back into place. That's what that CSS root does. So this is the layout. That's really it. And let me save this. I'm now we gotta figure out this push issue. But so since class is almost over and I can figure this push issue out later. What I want y'all to do for the next, I guess, 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, to just start creating those JIRA tickets. I know everything is not going to be completed, which is fine. I mean, we kind of went over, but let me see if there's anything in the chat. Okay, nothing in the chat. All right. Yeah, y'all can just start making those making as many tickets as y'all can until class is over, while I figure out how to push this code. Let me drop the link to the board if y'all don't already have it. I'm gonna drop that in the chat. Where is it? Copy link. That's the link to the Kanban board. So who, so Jay, your Bitbucket, do you recall if it's public or not?
It should be a public repository. If it isn't, I have everything set up to where everybody who gave me their emails is connected up. So there should be absolutely no problem.
Yeah, did you add my email in it? Let me give you my email. Did you already add that or no? I have to put it in chat.
No. I can add you right now though.
Yeah, add that real quick.
Because all I have to do is make you a member, a part of the user group. And
Yeah.
then you shouldn't have any problem pushing, pulling, or accessing any of the information.
Cool. So
I'm doing it right now.
how did you add that? Like where'd you go to add it? Because I have no clue how to how to add emails.
So you go to your class project, then there's a, okay, there we go. Now it's loading. Then there's a, should be like settings, if I'm not mistaken. A second. And I may have to do this from the computer
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm on my phone right now. No, I'm not on the phone. I'm not on the computer, the phone. I'm on the phone. I'm not on the computer.
I see.
But
It's fine. If I guess whenever you get to a computer, you can just add me and just it's fine. I can and then after you add me, let me know, and then I'll push the code to see like so y'all can get the layout. You can just pull it down. So
Yeah, that said, when we're creating any path we create now, we'll want to put in depends on number 10, just so they know not to, get started yet until the layout is pushed up.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, let me, I'll push it whenever I add it. Hopefully it pushes and not gives me, give me issues.
Oh, so, and one other thing, can you tell that I created a task? Like, I just added a task in there. Can you tell can you tell who created the task or story?
Number 11, let me see. No, you cannot, doesn't look like it.
So maybe we could add a signature, just in case like someone has a question on a task that I created or vice versa,
I guess you
like
can,
created by
yeah, I guess you can do that, created by this person or whatever.
or initials or something. Yeah.
Let me see if I can like, I know there's like settings for me to add different things in there. Let me see if I can put that there, like who made it. Supply templates. Um, Yeah, there's no way for me to put it. Yeah, you just have to put it like created by whoever. I mean, to be, let me see. I guess you can do it like that. I mean, if you want to avoid typing, I would just
Maybe like dash
actually,
initials or something.
put your name actually. Yeah, that'll save a lot of headache, honestly. You're right.
That way we could just go back to the person and say, hey, what did you mean by so and so, or you know.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Where did this thing just auto save? Like I'm used to if I click X on when I update the story, it saves it, but I'm used to X being like, you know, the cancel button
Right.
versus
Yeah, it's kind of
saving it.
weird. Right.